They say autumn is the season when the veil between the living and whatever else is out there thins just enough to let something slip through. The leaves die in slow motion, painting the forest blood red and gold, and every rustle in the underbrush starts to sound deliberate. These are the stories people only whisper when the fire dies low and the trail behind them has already gone cold. 27 Confessions. 27 times someone stepped into the woods in October, and something in the woods decided to step out with them. Story 1. It was one of those perfect, rainy Tuesdays nobody else wants, the kind where the parking lot is empty and the forest feels like it was built just for you. My best friend and I followed a narrow trail slick with wet leaves, laughing about how we owned the entire mountain. Then he stopped dead. 20 feet off the path, half hidden by dripping branches, a pale plastic mask stared at us from a tree, nailed there like a trophy. The eye holes were empty, but it felt like something behind the bark was still using them. We laughed it off. Took a picture. He pried the mask free anyway. Inside, taped to the plastic, was a single scrap of paper. Number 1. Go behind this tree and walk straight until you find number 2. We should have turned around. Instead we walked deeper, past 5 masks total, each one dirtier, each note shorter, until the last one simply read, "See you soon." We told ourselves it was a prank. That night, 5 figures stood on my front lawn wearing those exact masks, swaying like they were dancing to music only they could hear. They rang the doorbell again and again, then threw their bodies against my door hard enough to rattle the frame. The police came. The figures scattered into the dark like smoke. No arrests. No evidence. Just 5 empty masks left in the grass the next morning, and the quiet certainty that whoever wore them still knows exactly where I live. Story 2. High school camping trip. Midnight. 4 teenage idiots sneaking away from the tents with glowing Nintendo DS screens so we could keep playing Pokemon. We thought we were rebels. 30 minutes later something sat down in our circle. Not walked, sat. A man in his 40s, clean-shaven, hair slicked back, wearing a pressed button-down that somehow looked brand new even in the moonlight. He never spoke. Never even looked up. Just mirrored every tiny movement we made. We stand, he stands. We run, he jogs behind us, calm, emotionless, like a reflection that learned how to chase. We lost him in the trees. We never told the teachers. Getting in trouble felt scarier than the man. Every fall since, I still hear that soft, unhurried footfall somewhere behind me when the leaves start to turn. Story 3. First wedding anniversary weekend. Pumpkin patch, cider donuts, pure newlywed bliss. My husband wanted just a quick hike at a local park that turned out to be closed for renovations. We hopped the fence anyway because love makes you stupid. A brand new portable building sat off the trail, worker break room, we figured. Muffled voices inside. Angry ones. He cupped his hands to the window. Every drop of color drained from his face. He grabbed my arm so hard it bruised and whispered, "We have to go. Right now." He never told me what he saw. 15 years later he still sleeps facing the bedroom door, wide awake until dawn, pretending it's just stress from work. Story 4. An unmarked trail in late October, somewhere on the northeast coast where the foliage looks like the forest is bleeding. We found a clearing that felt staged, perfect circle, 2 stumps like chairs waiting for guests. A noise in the brush. A barefoot woman in a spotless white dress pacing back and forth, laughing and groaning in the same breath. We called out. She froze. Turned. Hissed like something feral wearing human skin. Then sprinted into the trees faster than any person should move barefoot over rocks and roots. My wife chased her for almost a minute before giving up. The rangers searched for days. No footprints. No missing person matching her description. Just the memory of that hiss echoing inside my skull every time the leaves start falling. Story 5 Adirondack Mountains, Annual Guys Trip. We veered off trail and found an old church rotting in a place no church had any right to exist. Pews still in rows. Wax-drenched floorboards. A massive wooden cross that looked freshly carved. Behind the altar, a trapdoor. 8 feet down into a stone room covered in symbols that hurt to look at directly. A boarded-up crawlspace at the back leaked unnatural heat. Our flashlights couldn't find the end of the tunnel. The ranger later told us it connected to a collapsed mine. He said it casually. We still wonder what congregation needed a private entrance to hell.